Today I am going through some flame maple necks that I got a shipment in a little while ago, and this wood's all ready for us to process and basically put into stock. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to grade it between a 4, 5, and 7A rating so that when you guys call in, you're going to be guaranteed to get exactly what you're paying for. So I do all the grading here, no matter if it's a neck, a top, body. So when you guys are paying that premium, I'll throw my peepers on here, try to do as good of a job for you guys as I possibly can. So here goes. So I'm going to go through these now. Yeah, I'll show you a couple, but then I'll move through them pretty quick. This is really nice. So this has a lot of consistency, very tight. This area here that's more of a yellow, that's just part of the rough area. It hasn't been sanded. So the whole thing's going to look like this. But you can see the grain on this, very beautiful. And it's got a lot of the horizontal or vertical grain, excuse me. Yeah, let's flip this over. Very consistent on this side. So I'm going to rate this as a 7A. And this is a neck through, so I'm going to put it on this side. Let's grab a non-neck through. So this is good. This is close to a 7A, but we got a big gap here with not a lot going on. So I'm going to take this down to a 5, and the back is not quite as nice as the top, so it's going to be a perfect 5A. And so the big difference, let me grab a 7A. You can see how just consistent and tight that flame is. So this is going to be our 7 in comparison to a 5. And so we'll just kind of go through these relatively quick so you guys can kind of see the process. Same thing, like a 5. Really nice. I like sometimes a 5 even better than a 7 because some of the rolling pockets look really, really cool. And I'm going to do this as an R because I want to roast this one. So I'm going to put my roasting on that side and my non-roasted on this side. Actually, let me get rid of all these neck throughs first. So this guy is going to be a good 4A. Put that over here. So this guy's in between. This is really, really nice here, excuse me. But it's a little weaker on the backside, so I'm going to call that a 4A because my goal is to give you guys as good or better than my rating, right? Very consistent. Solid 5. I would call it a 6A if I was doing that. I'm not offering 6As anymore, so I'm going to call that a 5. There is times when you look at a piece and there's hardly anything going on. Like this is a good case on the back side. So I'm going to cut that, and then we're going to call this a 4A. So let me move this guy back over, and I'm going to roast it. So we'll put that guy over there to be cut down. Sometimes we'll do that. As we paid for a long one, but you've come up short. Wah, wah, wah. All right. And so this is a tedious process, but I mean, this is like a 3A, so I'm going to put free. So, yeah, I'm not going to charge for flame for this. So I'm going to say non-flame, even though it's got flame, but I can't, in good intentions, take all of your hard-earned money when there's not enough consistent flame going on. Put that guy there. Sometimes that's how it rolls, you know. We'll pay for something and we can't use it. This is nice. Wow. See, I like this, like the really, really big pocketing. You kind of start drawing where the flames are, and there's big ripples in it. I like a lot of this. It's only a 5A, but I would almost prefer this to a 7A depending on the situation. And this one, you can still see the flames, but it's still all rough there. It hasn't been sanded at all. This one's nice. We got a 7/8. Ooh, look at that one. That's beautiful. Let me make sure the back looks good. Yeah, back's probably nicer than the top. And we do pay a premium to get better wood. Here's a good example. There's almost nothing going on there. Almost nothing going on there on the back side. So I'm going to also cut this one. And then this is going to be a 4A, and I'm going to roast it. This guy has very little going on this backside, and they've already called out for what it is. And then we're going to do a 4A and a roast. So I have to cut all those down, even though we paid for them. Cut them on down. Got some nice stuff, though. No doubt. All right, so we got a 5A here. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. So we got ourselves a 7A with some wide pocket. Super nice. Almost done with these neck throughs. Solid 4A. Solid 5A. Solid 7A. All right, now let's get on to these guys. See how tight this is? A lot of tight, consistent flame. It's really roughly sanded on this one, so it's really hard to see. Doesn't get much better than that. Another 7/8. Oh, I love that stuff. Real big pocketing. Go 5/8 on that, and I'm gonna roast it. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. So let's go 7/8, and we're gonna roast it. Gotta have some of everything, you know? So we try to get our necks ready so when you guys hit us up, we're ready to go. So this half of the neck looks like 7/8 and this half looks about 4/8. So we're gonna just call it a 5 and I'm gonna roast it. Sometimes when we roast woods, we're bringing out a little more of that grain. Some big pocketing on this one. Almost looks identical to the guy next to it, which is already a 5/8. Okay. Oh, donk. It's on sale now. 7/8. And then here we go. We got ourselves a 4/8 and we're gonna roast it. $5A roast. And we do a lot of roasted necks. Oh, that's beautiful. Some of this grain is like kind of just, it's real squiggly and open pocket. Looks really neat. This is going to be a cool one. This looks kind of basic, but you roast this thing, hot dog. Solid 5A. $5A roast. Got some big pocketing on this. I really like the way this is looking. Non-roasted 4A. $5A. Oh, second pile going here. There we go. Oh gosh, this is so nice. I love that. A little bit of an angle to it too. Beautiful stuff, guys. Beautiful stuff. And this is kind of, again, what I prefer. Some big open pockets, lots of space between the flames. There might be some little lines, but this is going to look really big and rippling and rolling. That's going to be gorgeous. So 5A roasted. Let's start a second roast pile here. All right, got a 5A, a regular 5A. And it doesn't matter what the wood vendor grade. Oh yeah, this is nice. It doesn't matter how the wood vendor grades it. It matters what we think when we get it here. I'm running out of room already. That's another 7A. So solid 4A. So the 4A stuff is going to go into my general stock, and my guys are going to pick this out for you guys. Another 7A. $5A roast. Getting there, getting there. Almost done. 5A roast. Got a regular 4A. I'll go roasted on that one. So sometimes we'll end up with more necks that are not roasted, and we'll go ahead and roast those and sell them. But I start off with about what I need. And I don't know what the ratio is of roasted to non-roasted as far as sales. We do all of our own roasting in-house, which I think is an advantage. I'll just do a regular on that. This is nice. It's really nice, very tight, but it's not quite as defined as some of the other like 7A stuff. So I'm gonna still call it a 5A instead of a 7. It'd be another good 5A. I'm actually gonna roast that one. And we run the oven usually about twice a week to roast stuff. And there's a set amount of time that each type of wood goes in for. So I'm kind of banging them out now. And look at how nice that is. Just gorgeous stuff. But I swear, something about just something simple, not a lot going on, big, huge. I'm gonna go 4A roast Jeff's. Give back. I wanna do something with this build. The reason why is it's got big pocketing. You can see how big these pockets are and how big they jump. When you roast that, it's gonna look awesome. And I'm gonna do something special with this. So sometimes, guys, less can be more in that case. We buy a lot of nice stuff. So sometimes when you guys call us, I'm out. You know, I don't have lower grade. And sometimes you guys are like waiting for us to have necks, and sometimes I just don't have any. Sometimes all I have left is higher grade. It's a nice warm day today. This is another nice one. These are like a lot of these types. The big pocketing is just, I think, is so cool. So cool. Maybe what we can do is get a shot of these afterwards, Brandon, and show everybody kind of the before and after, you know, with and without roasting, and maybe sand one side so people can kind of see an example of each one. So here's a good example. So this side is really, really highly figured, going to be in that 7A territory, but the back is not, right? So we're going to call this a 4A, and someone's going to get hooked up. You know, I'd rather do that and make people stoked. Another one the same way, just almost identical to the other piece, probably from the same tree. Okay, last three. Yeah, same thing. See that? It's a little weaker on the back. Top's gonna be like a 5A. So we're gonna call that a 4A. It's gonna be something in the middle of the two. This is nice. We'll go just a 5A on that, no roasting. And the last one, kind of a more pockety open look, very consistent. 5, oh, not R, 5A. Awesome. So that was grading necks, getting the necks ready. The next step from here is the guys are gonna take my mark, they're gonna write it on the side, they're gonna plane them down and get them perfectly flat. These have already been kiln dried to the right tolerance. The ones that get roasted are gonna get roasted, and then they're gonna get planed down. So that's it. Thanks for watching. You guys have any questions, as always, call my guys. We'd love to answer them for you. 858 Guitars.